Hey guys, Joanne here with Newegg TV. I'm here to do an overview on this ROCCAT Ryos MK Pro mechanical gaming keyboard. And this version comes with the Cherry MX brown switches, which means light tactile feel and no click sound. So for those of you who still like to feel the key when it actuates, but not with the loud clicking sound like the blues, which I personally like, this is the keyboard for you. And this keyboard also is available with black switches, red switches, or blue switches. There are some things I'd like to go over on the box first before unwrapping this baby, simply because it is just here, it is organized, and I can go ahead and talk a lot more about some of these features. For example, what's interesting about this keyboard is you get per key illumination, something that I don't generally see on a keyboard. That means you can go ahead and only illuminate letters such as your team logo or just your name or just I'm happy, something like that. And this keyboard is almost fully programmable except for a couple of keys. We'll show you in the software later. You get N key rollover. That means press any number of keys at the same time. It will register every keystroke, so there will be no key conflict. Also, you get two powerful 30-bit ARM Cortex processors. That just means you get lots of processing power on this keyboard to power all the functions on the keyboard, which can be a lot without losing performance, which means no lag. And also you can store up to 500 plus macros on the 2 megabytes of onboard memory. So whatever you configure and set onto the keyboard, you can go ahead and take this keyboard to another computer, plug and play, very easy. Now a little bit about ROCCAT Talk. It's compatible with ROCCAT Talk. With the software, you can communicate with other devices like this keyboard and another ROCCAT compatible mouse and have them talk to each other. Like for example, the mouse or the keyboard can switch profiles for you, which is very cool. It has other functions as well. Now here is RAD. This stands for a ROCCAT Achievement Display. This will be in the software. Basically, it helps you monitor your skills, overview stats, awards, and you can even share them on social media sites like Facebook, for example. And real quick, up here at the top, you get these 3 thumbstick keys, which I will show you in a little bit. It is best to use these for profile switching. For example, profile up, profile down, whichever you like, instead of setting the profile to a specific key. And you can only have 5 profiles on this keyboard at one time, but you can create unlimited number of profiles in the actual software. Now, moving right along, you get 6 levels of brightness. We'll plug this in for you later, as well as 1000 Hertz polling rate and 1 millisecond response time. And let's go ahead and open this up. Here's everything that comes in the box. ROCCAT has kept it simple for you. You just get a quick install guide here. Kind of teaches you how to use the easy shift keys, commands, and how to record a macro on the fly. I'm gonna put this away. I'll show you myself later. But first, a quick look at some of the features of the keyboard. For example, you get this large wrist rest. It's actually quite comfortable. When I move it, very good angle. And you also get some glossy edges, as well as this printed surface that's supposed to be smudge proof, and so far I think it's true. I mean, I've been trying to put my fingers all over it, but it doesn't look like there's any smudges left behind. And actually, I do want to show you the Cherry MX browns, just so for sure this is the right one. Let's take off the S key. There you go. LED on top of each key. And there's a Cherry MX browns. This is a more standard QWERTY layout with full number pad, and you get some other keys as well, but I will go over those when the keyboard is lit up. But first, let's turn this around to the backside. You'll notice that there are a lot of these grooves here, and these are cable channels, so you can go ahead and organize your cables by tucking them in here. Although this one is kind of thick, but maybe it's for like a mouse or headset or something like that. You also, of course, get these feet, so you can angle your keyboard at perhaps a more comfortable level for you personally. You also get these rubberized feet here, or stripped down here, so 5 of them total. So when you set your keyboard down, it won't shift around, especially when you're in an intense gaming session. You don't want your keyboard to go flying. Of course, I don't think that would happen anyway. Now, what is this thing? you get close to 6 feet of this very thick braided cable. It looks like it's not going to wear and tear anytime soon. Although I wish there was about 10 feet or something, but 6 feet is standard, it's good. And in case you wish to plug this in using analog connection, you get the headphone and microphone plugs. You also get 2 USB 2.0 connectors for plugging your keyboard in this way. And one is to power the keyboard, the other is to power the USB hub on this end. So you get 2 USB 2.0 ports for plugging in, let's say, a mouse or a headset, like I mentioned earlier. And if you also plug in these analog connections, you can go ahead and plug in a headset here for, right here it's labeled, headset and microphone. Here's a look at the keyboard with part of the, well, this is on automatic illumination mode, so they have all the important gaming keys highlighted for you, such as your M1 to M5 keys, dedicated macro keys, as well as escape, all the F keys, directional keys, and of course your WASD walking keys. Now, I'm going to go into a little more detail about what some of the main functions do. Remember when in the beginning when I said you get these 3 extra T keys, thumb keys? Basically, you should set your profile switch to T1 and T3, and you could set whatever macro you want. You don't have to do that, but this is recommended. And with the function key, you can access volume controls, calculator, your media controls. These two are cool. I have never seen this on a keyboard before, but it's awesome. So function key and F9 will pull up the computer on your PC, you know, like the computer screen where you can see your, drives and everything, and the USB flash drive that you plugged in. Awesome, because sometimes you have to search for that, and it's just easier. And F9, function, and F10, www. You guessed it, it will open up the internet, whatever default browser that you are using. God, that is awesome. And next to that, F11 is illumination. Let's cycle through the 6 stages, shall we? Function, F11. 1 is off, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which is the brightest. And moving right along, I did want to mention that the quality of this build, you'll see that these keys are laser etched and UV coated, so it prevents fading, which is pretty awesome. Here's one of the main features of this keyboard, and that is the easy shift key. By pressing this key down and whatever key that you have set the secondary functions for in the software, it will activate that particular macro, shortcut, or command. And that's awesome because it gives you another layer of functions and commands for your keyboard. And the next thing I'm going to go over is the live macro recording, so recording on the fly. You can do it with the software, but this makes things a lot faster if you are already in-game or doing something else. So you see the F12 key, which is the record key. I'm just going to give you an example right now. So function, F12, and then you could press one of these macro keys, and then the F12 button, key will flash. When it flashes, let's just type hello, and to stop the macro, function F12 again. Now, it won't work if you do it that way with the other keys. What you need to do to set other macros for other keys is press function F12, and then press this easy shift button, and let's say D. And then once that flashes, we'll say hi again. Yes. And then we will stop that right there. Ta-da! There we have it. Right now I opened up a notepad so I can show you the macros that we have created just earlier. So M1 should give me hello, yay! Okay. And then the easy shift button, which is also caps lock, with D, should give us hi again. It works. Of course it works, but still very cool. And I also wanted to show you the function F9 brings up computer, and function www. brings up the internet. I am just very amazed by this keyboard. I love it. but I would love it more if it was Cherry MX Blue. Now for a look at the software. So I'm gonna go open up ROCCAT software. All right. It looks very complicated, but there's just a lot you can do with this. When you get the chance and you see the software yourself, go ahead and go through each of the features that it has. And to download the software, just go to their website, go to the support section for the keyboards and the Ryos series. So I don't know if I'm saying it right, but let's see. We are now at main control. You can control the caps lock key. You can also configure the function key, right Windows key, enable, disable keys, illumination, brightness, dimmer, sound feedback. The keyboard can talk to you if you want. For example, if you switch profiles, it'll tell you that you have switched profiles. It is very cool. And there's the volume for it. And down here are your profiles. So you could just go to each profile and then you can edit the profile, the name, extract files, and you can also create a new profile. That's easily done. You can create, like I said, unlimited number of profiles, but only keep 5 on the keyboard, so remember that. Load profile, save, and let's move on to key assignment. So you can just highlight whatever section of the keyboard, this key for example, and there is the primary function, as well as the secondary keys. That would be the easy shift. So if you want a macro, you could create a new macro, and let's go to another letter actually. There's macro and preset functions and a bunch of others. If you go to this section, change the F keys, number keys, and over here you'll see that the easy shift button doesn't change and you can't click on the escape either, so not every single key is programmable, but most of them are. And see down here it says secondary functions are made available by holding down the easy shift key. Here at key illumination you could either do automatic, where they have predefined light groups, or manual. Take your pick. And next to that is the RAD, the achievement section. You unlock an achievement, share the trophy onto Facebook or wherever you like to go. Very cool. And last but not least, update and support. I went into manual earlier, and I make sure you have the fade FX box checked, not the ripple effect, because you won't be able to light up the letters you want if you're on ripple FX, which makes sense. So I have Joe lit up right here because I realized that there are no 2 ends I can light up on this keyboard. So right now I want to show you the fade effect. Just follow the keys and you'll notice that they fade, right? Very cool. And now for the ripple effect. This, oh my gosh, can't get over how cool this is. Oh my god, look at this. But of course it won't work as well if you're typing like a bunch of letters at once, but obviously if you do 1 letter at a time, I could just play with this all day long. That wraps up our overview on this ROCCAT Ryos MK Pro mechanical gaming keyboard. I'm Joanne, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our Newegg YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Newegg TV, and we'll see you next time.